When Willow was born, we didn't know she had Down syndrome, and we didn't know about any of the possible heart defects that come along with a diagnosis of Down syndrome.
About 50% of people with Down syndrome have a heart defect of some kind. So we went in for an echocardiogram just to get a very clear picture of her heart.
It was a gut punch when he came in and said she has, holes in her heart.
I felt like I was just getting my head around Down syndrome with this newborn, and I could do Down syndrome, we could do Down syndrome, but the heart stuff just seemed insurmountable. It just seemed impossible to hand over my infant for such a big surgery.
We went back, we had more pictures done, and then we had kind of the plan, and the plan was to let her get bigger. And so they said they were looking at 6 to 8 months is typically when they like to do the surgery.
I remember staying at the Ronald McDonald House the night before. She just kind of woke up at about 4 a.m. and we just kind of looked at each other, and I just kind of remember feeling devastated. Like, this is the last time I'm going to nurse you before your surgery, and you have to think about things like maybe the last time I'm going to nurse you, like ever. You don't want to think about those things, but you do.
Time for surgery came. That was hard because you're handing off your child and you're not sure what the outcome's going to be.
So you go into like a waiting room, you talk to the anesthesiologist and the surgeon, and they get her in her little gown and booties. The big part of open heart surgery is getting put on the bypass machine. They actually stop her heart and connect her to a machine that does all of her work for her while they repair her heart. She had like 4 or 5 IVs.
It was really nerve-wracking to sit in the waiting room. They had a nurse who was our liaison to the operating room, and she came out very regularly giving us updates on, okay, we're now doing this, we're now doing this. The surgery went fine. It was a success. There were no complications.
When you're a heart mom, oftentimes you're maybe in a support group online on social media or something, and you see other babies that are hooked up and post-surgery, and that's helpful, but nothing really prepares you to see your own child kind of brought so close to death just so they could help her survive.
You're just shocked at how much there is compared to the person. There's this tiny little baby there, and then there's just cords upon wires and blankets.
I mean, she was literally just kind of suspended with all of these machines. And I remember counting the medications that they were giving to her in this tiny, tiny 11-pound person. We just went in there and kissed her and told her we loved her and found a hand and underneath all of the wires. Nothing in my life has ever kind of brought me to my knees as much as that moment. Willow's recovery was going really well. During a routine cardiology visit, I noticed that the cardiologist himself came into the echocardiogram room and took some images himself. He told us that she was a hyper healer and she is growing too much scar tissue that's becoming problematic. It was likely that she was going to have another surgery to remove that membrane, the scar tissue that was growing. I just remember feeling devastated. We can't do this once a year. You do lots of things once a year, but heart surgeries shouldn't be one of them. I've never in my life had to give up so much control and just literally relied on my faith, my friends, my family so much.
We knew the routine now. We knew the pre-op routine. We knew, where they were taking her, how they were going to take her. It made the handoff no easier. The handoff to the surgical team was still really, really hard. The surgery didn't take as long, and that was good. It wasn't as complicated as surgery, so the nurse was out more frequently, and she was out of surgery and going up to the PICU. And even that first look at her post-surgery wasn't as traumatic as the first time because we knew what to expect. If she needs another heart surgery, we'll face it and she'll do it. And
I will hope that she will plow through it like she did her other two, and that will be that. But it is unknown why that happens to such a small percentage of cases. That is why we need more research, more monies for research, so we can know why.
20 years ago, my time with Willow would be limited. They would not have been able to do what they have done for her surgery-wise. There would have been a fairly definite endpoint to our time with Willow. Because of research and teaching, they can now do these amazing things with these hearts the size of a walnut to fix them. I anticipate, having Christmas with Willow when she's 50, and I couldn't have had that hope 20, 25 years ago. And that makes all the difference to me.
My hope for Willow's future is similar to the rest of my children. I hope that she is happy and that she lives a long life. Kiddos like Willow, these people deserve monies. They deserve the research. Gifts are important because they give kids like Willow a fair shot at life and love and happiness. And that's so important to our family because we love her. We want to share her life with her for as long as we can. Your gifts make a difference.
Willow's proof, so thank you for all that you've given.
Thank you.